Hey, welcome back everybody to a brand new video. Today, we have something scary. The video today we're gonna be watching is from a channel called Chills. You already know Chills. If you watch scary stuff, you know the video is titled Top 10 Scary Videos That Will Make You Breathe Manually. Yeah, so we know the original video will be down in the description below. And yeah, hey, you know what's coming. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, help me much a lot. And thank you very much if you do. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the top 10 scary videos that'll make you breathe what the fuck is stutter? Manually.
Some videos are so terrifying that you may catch yourself holding your breath. Number 10, emergency landing. Imagine
The first
recording
one,
a
that
selfie
lady.
video after an emergency landing in the Pacific
Oh, no,
Ocean. That's what this pilot did in August of 2019 when two aircrafts were taking part in an aerial photo shoot. The video captures the aftermath of an emergency landing in Half Moon Bay near San Francisco.
If I were going
One
on a
of
plane,
the
I'm buying a
planes,
parachute.
a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza, malfunctioned, losing power. Video footage from above caught the landing, which was an admirably safe one, according to the pilot that managed to stay in the air. The downed pilot, David Leash, and his passenger both survived. They're in fairly good spirits, all things considered, managed their best to stay afloat, although David notes the water is quite cold.
The water's a little bit cold.
A little bit.
We're all right. I set it
It's
down
always
real
cold,
easy.
ain't it?
No one got hurt.
No, we're good.
That's good.
Thankfully, overhead, his fellow pilots sent mayday calls to the Coast Guard, alerting them to the incident. Still, the pair were risking hypothermia in cold water for around 40 minutes by the time a Coast Guard helicopter that was on a training mission arrived. They didn't make it out pain-free. While waiting, they'd been repeatedly stung by jellyfish. Number 9.
Jellyfish? Aren't they poisonous?
Published to YouTube in December of 2019, Brandon Gross writes, "My friend Danielle took me into one of the craziest caves I've ever seen.
You can pay me
Very bad
100K,
with
I'm
tight
going."
spaces and decided to face my fears. Would he live to regret it?" The footage follows the pair squeezing into a tight slot, holding onto a rope. They descend into what can only be a claustrophobic nightmare. As the underground cave gets tighter and more suffocating by the minute, the cave widens and narrows, but at one point, Brandon notes that the space into which he intends to squeeze is only as wide as the length of his foot. Slithering through the caves, they finally reach the bottom cavern. When they start to continue exploring the claustrophobic corners, Brandon experiences a brief panic attack but continues on, seeing his friend Danielle wriggle ahead as she navigates further restrictive spaces would make anyone
imagine getting lost in there.
Brandon does, but he manages to make his way back to the light. When at last Brandon squeezes his way out of the hole, he celebrates being free from that claustrophobic nightmare. Number 8. Waterlogged. Are you heading out to a seaside restaurant tonight? You might want to reconsider. Published to YouTube by Ed Haddon, March of 2014.
Didn't it?
They wrote, Jill Freeland, the artist and videographer, was having breakfast this morning at Moby Dick's with her family.
I like water,
got
but
a
not
little
deep water.
more sea salt than was on the menu.
I almost drowned when I was little.
The footage shows the restaurant overlooking a stormy gray sea. While the customers await their meal, they helplessly watch as the waves take on a life of their own. They probably think they're safe inside, but boy are they wrong.
Window. What's glass? I mean. No, I would have threw myself down.
Time to go.
Time to go. Okay, that's
water
not
crashes against the window and glass shatters as the spectators scream. Someone calmly says, "Time to go," and the customers are told to leave the restaurant, which they do without argument. It appears that no one was hurt in the incident.
If they had to pay for the meal,
certainly saw firsthand
or if
how
they already paid for the
indifferent
meal,
Mother Nature
full
is
refund.
to brunch. Number 7. Baby
Help
monitors
me.
sometimes capture that
baby
which
monitors,
we don't even know is there. This creepy clip
See, you're
was
a bad
posted
mother.
to
You on your phone?
/ghosts by Zealous Ideal Call 53.
God,
it shows a monitor placed in a child's bedroom. The baby is
Okay, she's
playing
a
while
little
her
bit older,
guardian
so-
appears to be on her phone. All is normal until you turn up
You
the
my babysitter?
sound. A growl of
You
a
my
voice
babysitter?
snarls
I'm
help
fine,
me
you're
3
right.
times in a row at the beginning of the video.
See, look, how can you
Neither
not see
the
the baby,
nor
bruh?
the young woman in the video appears to hear the voice.
Oh, nah, bro.
Is it crossed wires with a nearby
That was
baby
my kid's room.
monitor?
I'm getting the
Did
priest,
someone
everybody.
hack the monitor's sound, or is it an EVP
blessing my
capturing
children,
someone beyond crying out for help? The Redditor
What if
explains
the
in
baby
the
falls?
comments
See,
that this isn't the
I
only
just got me
strange
mad because
occurrence in their
what if
house,
the baby
and
fall?
that
What is she
paranormal
doing?
events have regularly been happening since she was pregnant. The Redditor writes, "We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of someone watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that suddenly return. Does this give more credence to the presence of a paranormal entity? My answer is yes." Number 6. Cork Crowbar Lurker. Better safe than sorry. This video proves that saying couldn't be more true. A mother in Cork, Ireland was threatened via letter by a former work colleague. In fact, he was watching her, and CCTV footage caught her terrifying ordeal on camera after someone had painted her car tires pink and put X's and O's on the car's windows, as well as the message, "I win." The homeowner, Una Ring, installed a CCTV camera outside her home. It captured her work colleague posting a menacing letter to the windshield of her car. What it said was so disturbing I can't say it here.
Maybe not.
Thankfully,
Pew,
a
them,
civilian
like,
police force known as Guardians of the Peace of Ireland were made aware of the lurker's threats and were surveilling Una's home. What followed was the lurker's escalation. He came around Una's with a crowbar in hand and was caught on camera approaching her property. He was also discovered to be in possession of rope and duct tape. The suspect was confronted by the protectors and was taken into custody. Una says she owes her life to them. The creep was given 5 years behind bars for his actions.
5 years?
Number 5. Phantom Theater. When performing at the theater, more often than not, you hope to entertain, but some audience are not very lively. Originally published by YouTuber Phil Koch, this footage shows a paranormal investigation. While exploring a haunted theater, Phil kicks back in his theater seat, sitting alone in the dark room. A wide shot shows no one in the aisle behind Phil. The row is entirely empty. Little does he know he's in for more than a show. Watch the seat to his left behind him. While sitting there staring forward, the seat shudders back and forth, as if someone pushed it down to sit but then decided against it. Although he couldn't have seen the movement, the sound sends Phil fleeing the scene, likely without any desire for an encore.
Jump very hard too.
Perhaps this entire thief passed on, and he and his paranormal team disturbed a packed house. But another investigation by Phil is gaining much traction in the Spanish-speaking community. While investigating, this door opens right in front of him, and people are claiming to see this figure.
Nah, I ain't looking at that. I ain't looking at that, bruh.
We'll take a look.
I ain't looking at that. Nope.
What do you think? I just know I wouldn't be going anywhere near that building. Number 4, Prison Screech. We may have just discovered the soundtrack to your nightmares. Published to YouTube by Column A in June of 2019. This clip shows a young man in a prison cell, no context given. He speaks to the camera and, in the midst of his monologue, he gives a strange, otherworldly shriek like a velociraptor. Why?
Hell no, bro.
YouTubers have a wealth of that the man is sucking the soul out of the cameraman.
How?
I just know if I were in this situation, I'd be getting the heck out of there. Number 3, being followed. Do you feel like someone's pursuing you? Then you should probably trust your gut. published to YouTube by Upbeat Yamaha in February of 2019. This video follows a motorcyclist minding his own business on the open road. Wearing a GoPro, he manages to capture a white truck in front of him. Nothing out of the ordinary. More worrisome, he thinks the truck is following him. He suspects the driver might be trying to record his license plate to report him for something, although he says he hasn't done anything to report. He again pulls over at an intersection and attempts to wait out the suspect, who has stopped as well. The biker says the man in the truck is attempting to wave him on. After a brief face-off, the biker turns to the left to paranormal motorcycle. What lurks in your alley in the middle of the night? This video may surprise you.
That alley looks already cursed.
YouTube by Taslock in March of 2021. The security footage was recorded on the 30th of December 2020 at around 4 in the morning. An empty road with a few motorcycles and bicycles parked along each side, still in the darkness, at least for the moment. Suddenly, someone invisible decides to take this bike out for a spin. The motorcycle abruptly pulls out into the road, turning in place. At one point, it slows in its turning, then jerks forward and continues in its path before falling over on the side in the middle of the road. Could this just be something mechanical malfunctioning in the bike? Or did a ghost realize he didn't have enough momentum mid-launch? Empty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, I've been in the house once, and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out. He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test.
Alright guys, in the video may be short because, you know, it was like 15 minutes long? God damn. But yeah, thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Goodbye.